Alright, family. Once again, we stay dropping it on y'all, man. It's your brother Young Tinker Minute live from the west side of Jackson, Washington, D.C. We got two brothers who've been on the front line for our people for years, man. I'm talking about from Chicago, from L.A. Now we live in the Jack. This is not no armchair revolution. This is not a bunch of hoorah and hoopla. We giving real solutions. We solution oriented. None of the tomfoolery. But enough of me, man. I'm gonna let these brothers, brother D. Meezy and brother Haseeb, drop some more info for you Negroes out there in the wilderness and hills of North America.
Greetings, family. This is Mr. D. Meezy, Hotel, Black Power. Much love.
The Jumbo Hotel. Assalamu alaikum. Islam. Black African Power.
That's right.
Imam Haseeb.
That's right. You know, brother, for a long time, in the 60s especially, a lot of black people was in the streets. They found a sense of freedom. Emmett Till had just gotten murked and got his tongue pulled all the way down to his navel, a hole drilled all the way through his head, one of his ears with a hatchet on it, his eye, one eye poked out, the other eye plucked out, and all of those things were happening. And you know, kind of like when we saw that movie, The Passion of Christ, and people were crying for what took place on that movie. But in fact, the real lynching,
right.
The real lynching that had taken place took place in the exemplification of Emmett Till. Emmett Till was beaten. Emmett Till was wounded for our transgressions. He was brandished and burnished and just beat up as a symbolic representation of the black race. And while we cry and mourn a man hanging on a cross, what in fact we won't do is talk about what James Cone talked about that lynching and the Christian cross. And once again, before we go any further, I have to thank Sodnetter, House of Consciousness, standing on the shoulders of Minister Clemson Brown, with some control over the media to get these scholar warriors out here in our presence. And today we were tuning up to watch Booker T. Coleman and the Power of Consciousness. And just wanted to let you chime in, brother.
The thing with me is, especially when you mentioned the brother Emmett Till, who was a martyr, a modern day Jesus, or Christ. I don't like to really use the name Jesus, but a modern day Christo.
What you gonna say, Jesus?
I would just say Black Messiah.
Yeah, Black Messiah.
I mean,
yeah, we more favorable.
The word J.
Yeah, we understand.
We ain't get into that. But we spend so much time trying to call on the ancestors that we don't know. That we don't spend time honoring the ancestors that we do know, or the examples that were given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the divine creative force, however you want to call him. You know, he gives us a modern day Christ when he gives us an Emmett Till. That boy was so pretty, his family used to call him Face. And that's what they took from him.
Yes, it was.
You know, when he gives us a modern day Christ with a Trayvon Martin.
Yeah.
You know, when they gives us a modern day Christ, and the list could go on.
Right.
On and on and on. You know, but we spend so much time looking out or reaching out that we don't go to the divine spark that's inside of us. To use a Quranic example, when Allah breathed the breath of life into us, and the Bible says the same thing.
Yes.
That he put on the movies, the Transformers will call it the All-Spark.
Right, the All-Spark.
The All-Spark. Inside your chest. That's, people take out of context what the divine spirit or the creator or Allah is. He's everywhere.
All at one time.
All at one time. He's a part of everything all at one time.
Simultaneously.
So, for me to deny my black divinity,
yes,
is to deny God.
Correct.
For me not to love myself, my black divine self,
yes, sir,
is for me to deny God. The FOI will say the black man is God.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not shirk when you really put it into the perspective that it's supposed to be. I know I'm gonna catch hell for that.
Well, you could if the other people not willing to do no research and studying. But see, one of the things is, I deal with a group called 100 Women for God. Deal with another minister down in Carthage beautiful sister, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we went down there and was able to bless and be blessed. And just so happens, you know, Minister Gardner was letting it be known that she had went through a lot of flack in the Christian church trying to be a competent female minister from the other male ministers, and that they had little cliques and clubs that was
she don't make
excluded.
No secret either.
Right. And she's beautiful, and she ain't trying to encroach upon the man's place. She ain't preaching the men's message. She got her own style that speaks towards women and speaks towards children and speaks towards family and community. And nonetheless, she was ostracized. But I have an African-centered perspective. So even though Christianity is my foundation, it's not my limitation.
Right.
And I'm talking about the Christendom Christianity, the Eurocentric version of Christianity, before I came into the knowledge of self, and now I'm continuously growing into the holistically accurate knowledge of self. But from an African-centered perspective, you start recognizing the Godhead, have to have a Godhead.
Yes.
Right? Indeed. There is no male without the female.
That's a European.
You start recognizing that when the divine chooses to represent creation, the creation always comes through the feminine component or the feminine aspect. Even before you get in Allah, you got the three daughters, the three sisters, the three pre-whatever of Allah, where you deal with not El Eloha, the God or the divine, which is a title more than a name.
Right.
But you deal with Allah. What is it?
Allah, Sat.
And one of them with an M.
One more.
With an M. But the point I'm getting at, when we read Dr. Ben's book, African Origins of the Major Western Religions, you're going to see it very clearly. And Dr. Ben just recently passed, Imam, a rabbi, right, and Christian minister. You know what I'm saying? And he was African-centered, and he's Pan-African, and he done gave birth to the Shakamusa Shango. Right. He done gave birth to people even like me. Of course, he done gave birth to Ashra Kwesi. He done gave birth to our dear brother Seti with his just gonna be destructive self. Amen. Ashe.
Ashe, brother. It's a little bit of self.
That's right.
Ashe.
He's destructive. He's destructive in the same way, dealing with the concept of God. He's destructive in the same way that Shiva is destructive, where you have destruction as one of the components of the divine totality.
But Shiva wasn't destructive on her own for the sake of just destroying stuff.
Right.
Shiva was following orders.
That's correct.
But
because that's what Shiva was supposed to do.
That's what she was supposed to do.
Shiva is supposed to destroy, just like Vishnu was supposed to preserve, and Brahma was supposed to be the creator. But all three of them are part of the same thing. Just like you have an electron, a neutron, and electron, neutron, and a proton make up an atom. But if you try to separate the proton from the atom, then you have something different than when they're operating in totality. In the Christian religion, we talk about a Father, a Son, and a Holy Ghost. And you get people trying to make all these splits and changes, not realizing these are three aspects of the same thing. In the original version, you had the black Madonna and child. When we say that the black woman is God, we're not denigrating the black man. That's right. There you go. That's right. That's right.
My aunt's on. You had the black woman, black man, and black child.
That's the electron, the neutron, and the proton that make up the atom. And so when properly viewed, you can't help but see yourself within the realm of the consciousness of the divine. I exist within the mind of God. So to say that I can comprehend that divine thing that's all-powerful, all-knowing, and everywhere present is me trying to lock something that can't be locked inside of a box and then fight with you over what I got on the label of my box because you got a different label on your box, when if we tasted it, it'll probably be the same thing.
Say that again. The Trinity, omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence?
That's right.
Is that the Trinity?
That's right. All present, all powerful, and all knowing simultaneously. And then I'm going to say I comprehend that.
Right.
And then I'm going to fight with you because your way you came to understand is different from mine. That's just some foolishness that comes from the so-called pit of hell, and we need to do away with it because we some divine-minded, solution-oriented individuals as brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of light. We're reaching our time limit, family. Read, research, and study. Know thyself to love thyself to save ourselves. Until the next time, we say, Black Power.
Black Power. Black Afro-Kin power. these Europeans kill me with that shit, man.